Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, say this is the morning podcast with Jacob and Ethan.
This is hell.
Toward your mouth. Just make sure it's pointed like at your mouth. Yeah, you're not gonna break it, dude. That mic is like some people use those for hammers. What? Well, the SM. That's like the joke with the SM57. What this is that they're indestructible. You can't break them.
So you can't break them, but they gotta be like within a certain spot of your face to talking to.
Well, for them to work best. I mean, I don't know how to put it. It's like it makes my life easier. It makes because I can adjust levels. You know, it's like I can take that audio, and I've done it before with the podcast, and I can turn it into good audio. But like it's taken me so long and so much work that it's just not worth it to me. I just would much rather get as good audio as I can at the start, so I don't have to deal with this. All right, so good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast to Sell podcast. I am Jacob Urach, and on the other end, I've got my old high school friend and classmate, Benjamin Wirtz. How's it going, Benji?
Oh, it's going great.
Yeah, got you on the show. So yeah, we don't like I said, there's no set topic or anything. Just chat, shoot the bull for an hour. But yeah, I guess I can believe you came on.
Do what?
I guess I can believe you came on. I was going to say, I can't believe you came on, but it's like, nah, he'll come.
Honestly, when made the joke about it, I was kind of surprised that.
Well, I keep trying to get somebody, like, I don't know how to put it. I keep having guests on who I feel, like, have pretty much the same opinions as me on things, or, like, pretty much, like, watch the same shit, or, like, listen to the same stuff. So I really wanted to get like someone from the area I grew up. I've been meaning to for a while.
Yeah.
But I couldn't pick any. Well, I don't know. It wasn't a high priority. I guess it's like I haven't done it yet, but I've been meaning to do it. So it just works. But you're saying I look a little worse for wear. So I went up to Wichita yesterday, and I went to get dinner with a couple friends, and then I ended up going to crashing a wedding reception.
Crashing a wedding reception.
Yes, where I hit on a 38-year-old bridesmaid unsuccessfully. It looked really good. Really good looking 38-year-old bridesmaid. But I was like, when I told her I was 28, you could just see homegirl's face drop. Just like,
because you were too young, or what?
So I was too young. I'm like, why is that a negative? Isn't that what everybody wants?
I mean, 38 to 28 is not that bad.
No, I didn't think so either. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then, then I ended up going out dancing. Because I was like, I'm not ready for, anytime you suffer one romantic disappointment, you might as well subject yourself to a bunch more. And I don't know what it is about me as a person, but I have never figured out how to freaking hit on girls at clubs. I don't know how to do it. Like... I feel really weird, like, approaching someone from behind and then, like...
Well, if you put it that way.
Can I approach you from behind and put my hands on you and gyrate my body into yours? You know? Like, I could ask somebody to swing dance or something, but the grinding... Because the guys who, like... I feel like I don't want to be, like, the guy who comes up and runs somebody who's enjoying... Like, either somebody, like, wants you to just, like, grab them... and like forcibly dance with them, or like they don't want to even be breathed on. I feel like it's the two moods I get when I go to a club.
Get the stuck up people that don't even know why you're talking to them. Just
And then you're just like, I don't know, that hit. It's never just like, no, I'm not interested. It's like, how could you even believe for a second that like you might be like.
You have no chance. Why try?
Yeah, why? How could you? Which So I don't. And then, the older I get, the more I'm like, feel like I'm breaking into a high school when I go out. I'm like, man, I gotta start checking driver's licenses and shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. But you're a married man now, so that's not really your...
I never really hit the club scene.
Yeah, well, you were at Tabor, so there's not much of a club scene at Tabor.
Well, not at Tabor, but everybody always goes to clubs.
Oh, really? Would they go up to Wichita, or...
Oh, Wichita. I think McPherson used to have a club. I don't know if they still do.
Really? McPherson?
Yeah, shit, I can't remember what it was called, but they used to go there. I don't even know if it's still there, but...
Yeah, I had a sister who taught McPherson, but... Yeah, you're asking me why I look awful, and I think I got home around 2, and ended up in bed around 3 or 4 a.m., so...
Shit, I went to bed at midnight and thought that was bad, but...
I'm kind of used to... I don't know. Sleep is fungible for me. Some nights I get 12, some nights I get 1. Just kind of...
Oh, I can't do that. Even with having kids, if I don't sleep, I'm grumpy.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah. It's not good. It's not healthy. But I don't know. I knew when I went to the bar. I was like, okay, if I go, I'm not going to get any sleep. But then just the pull of the dance floor, it's like, come on, there's so many pretty women.
Oh, you used to be crazy at dances.
Oh, I still like to go crazy on the dance floor. That was always a weird thing at Center, because I would go crazy, and it was always like, if you want to talk about going crazy with nobody else.
Shit, there's like 30, 40 people at the dance alone, and you're the only one out there just... Dancing,
yeah. We had one dance I remember, I think senior year, that was actually like, there were people out on the dance floor. I think it was after we lost, maybe it was junior, when we lost to Hope. I remember there was one homecoming dance that was like actually a real dance.
And that's I don't remember who played Hope for homecoming.
What?
I don't remember. Did we play them for homecoming junior year?
We lost to them in quadruple overtime or whatever. Yeah. And then I remember thinking, like, maybe I'll just go home and not go to the dance. And then that ended up being like the funnest dance. Yeah.
Shit, I don't remember that at all.
Dude, what do you remember from high school? We had our class reunion the other week.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember it kind of sucking.
Yeah. I was flipping through my yearbooks because I've been trying to sell shit from my apartment. I was flipping through my yearbooks. Like, this doesn't invoke warmth in me.
No, looking back at high school, and you're like, first of all, you feel like an idiot for the shit you think about you did.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, high school sucked.
Yeah, speaking of stupid shit, I remember the time I had a bonfire here. So I'm trying to have a bonfire, and then you were like, I was like, yes, you can bring some beer, just do it clandestinely, try to hide it, don't make a big deal of it. Next thing I know, Benji in a truck or a car full of hooligans freaking pours out all blindingly drunk.
Really?
Oh yeah, somebody threw up like out by the freaking fire pit. You don't remember this?
I remember kind of having a bonfire and having alcohol, but I don't remember a car of people with me.
Oh, you had other people. You all came in hot. I had to give a whole trash bag full of trash or beer cans. I think
that's right.
Chase was with you.
Chase?
Somebody was with you who like
probably Charles.
No, who am I thinking? He was big. He liked to make jokes.
PJ?
I think it was PJ. I think PJ freaking.
Because I remember we threw beer cans in your tree row now, if I remember right.
Because the more I asked you guys not to do it, the harder you guys were just like, well, might as well drink more.
Well, that's what you do when you're drinking and somebody tells you not to do something. Yeah. You're going to do it more.
Dude, that may have been the most disaster of an event I ever tried to throw. I was expecting something like 50 to 100 people. I think about 20 people showed over the course of the night. Somebody threw a live possum in the fire, and I had some friends from Wichita down, and that freaked them out on another level. Like, I don't think they've ever recovered.
Oh, that just messed up. A live possum?
I know they killed it. They beat it with flashlights.
What?
And then they threw it in the fire.
What type of shit?
I don't, dude. That's
I mean, I'm not against killing animals, but have a purpose when you do it.
yeah.
Not
They
just
drove around, spotlighted it, beat it with flashlights, mag lights, and then threw it in the fire.
Oh, I think I remember more now.
Of that event.
Yeah, because we drove around in pickups because they wanted to go find possums and skunks, and someone got sprayed by a skunk that night, if I remember right.
Oh no. But I guess I don't feel bad, but yeah, that was one of those. It's like, yeah, I'm sure, like, oh, they can come, they'll have a beer or two, and oh man, I'm trying to, like, of dumb things in high school, because I didn't do really dumb things in high school. I had personality in high school, but I never did dumb things like that, I don't think. I was talking with somebody last night, you never quite escape high school. Like, you never can quite get away from it.
What do you mean?
Like, if you were popular, you're always going to, like, in the back of your head, kind of feel like you are still on some level a little bit of a god. Or if you won't, you're always going to feel a little bit like a misfit. Like, that sticks around. Or if you were the pretty one, you're going to feel, like, attractive. And if you weren't, you're still going to kind of have that chip on your shoulder. You can't quite get away from it. So I can kind of get it, but
It's kind of funny how high school people feel like it dictates the rest of your life.
Well, do you know South Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys, I was watching an interview he did for you ever heard of Bowling for Columbine? Like, it was a Michael Moore documentary.
No.
But anyway, one of the guys that makes South Park was doing an interview, and he said, like, this is what we do to kids in America. Like, we put them in high school, and we, like, tell them this is how the world is. And so, like, you've got to be, like, really clean cut and fit in and not do anything weird because people will make fun of you. And then you get to adulthood, and, like, that's actually not true. Like, you can do whatever you want, and, like, it's going to be okay. But, like, most people have, like, already been kind of, like, trained to act that way, and they can't get out of it.
I always found it funny. All the high school teachers, like, oh, you need to do it this way because this is what it'll be like in college.
Yeah.
So not true. Just
No.
you need to do your papers this way because this is what your professors in college will want. No. It's not how it was at all.
Yeah. I mean, I was very well prepped for college. Our science classes were... I haven't even had to take a science class. I had to take 2, I think. I had, like... That was the most... I had to take 2 science/math classes.
Yeah.
But Mr. Tishaw was like, yeah, you're gonna have every freshman level science course, like, learned before you ever get to college. Oh, and then it's not like, I don't know, we never had to work in our other classes. I mean, we all just played on the computer in Montgomery's. Montgomery's was just computer playtime.
Our whole senior project deal.
Oh, dude. And then I freaking wrote I wrote a book of poetry, and that was my senior project.
A book of poetry?
Yeah. And I remember Charles's grandma came up to me and said, well, I thought you were going to be interested in doing business. I said, no, I kind of want to get into writing, et cetera, et cetera. She's like, man, that's a disappointment. That's a real shame.
Disappointment.
She was so disappointed.
Because you wanted to write instead of do business?
Yeah, she thought I was going to be like this big, rich businessman. And
I don't know if you remember saying this, but I remember in high school, because you were like the smartest kid in the class. Everybody thought you were, yeah. I remember you saying that you're just going to be poor the rest of your life, and you already know it.
Yeah.
And you actually wanted to be homeless for a while. It's like, why do you think that way?
The whole thought about that was just to see what homelessness is like. Which, when I was walking, I feel like I accomplished that. Like, I know what it's like to be
Did you get shot at?
I did, yeah.
I was...
I'm just running down some random, like, South Carolina highway at 3 a.m. in the morning. There's a freaking... I feel the bullet go over my leg. Shit! That's not just a warning shot. Or if it is, it's dangerously close to my scalp. So I'm just pushing a cart, running full speed.
Oh, you had a cart and everything?
Oh, I had a bicycle cart, like what you put kids in. Yeah. I mean, it was a worthwhile adventure. I'm glad I did it. I mean, I've almost kind of thought about doing something like it again. It's just, it's hard because, you know, I know now the risks that go with it. It's like there at the start, it's like I had romantic notions of what it would be like, and then I got into the mess, and then it was like, okay, I'm walking from Virginia Beach, and really, and then I made a couple bad, not really bad turns, but like it was kind of one of those things where I planned it was such a big trip. I planned it from like week to week.
Yeah.
And so like I ended up in the Florida Panhandle, and I mean, I crossed a freaking miles long bridge one morning, and it's just like it's not worth it. I mean, it's wonderful because like 2 months have never felt so long.
Yeah.
Like every day was a freaking lifetime, but yeah, I did that. I don't know, man. I mean, I've had an interesting post-high school life, I guess.
Definitely not a straight path.
Straight path.
Like, you definitely haven't taken a straight path. You
No.
just wherever.
No. Yeah, I did romanticize, I think, being poor. Well, I also knew that, like, writing, I don't know. I romanticized loneliness and sadness in high school and poverty. And now that I have full doses of these things on some random dance floor in Wichita on a Saturday night, I think, man, I should have listened to Charles's grandma and been a business. I sure would have a much easier time at this club if I had just listened to Charles's grandma.
Oh, yeah, I mean, even if a girl's not interested in you, if you pull out money,
oh, dude,
money changes.
Money changes everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, I'm just, you can't tell a girl on a dance floor. There's no good way, like, yes, I live in Europe, or, oh, I've been published in a literary magazine. Like, there's no, like, that's not a thing that's going to be like, oh, well, now you can put your hands on me, you strange, solitary old man. But you throw a wad of cash, like, yeah, I'll buy you several rounds of drinks. And one of the things I've been noticing the older I've gotten, and I've been going out more in the States, not in Europe, but in the States, is that I feel like I notice young girls, like like the younger portion of the crowd will, I think, hit on older guys hoping that they'll buy them drinks. Like there's kind of a calculated, like, who could I hit on who's most likely to buy me alcohol?
Yeah. You don't have to pay for drinks with someone who will for you. I mean,
right.
Someone that wants to get to know you.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's I don't know how to put it. I don't mind buying somebody a drink, but like, what's the chances I buy you a drink and then you disappear? Like, are you gonna be
she's
like?
Not gonna just like vanish into thin air.
I'm just like, I buy you a drink, I turn around and then like you're gone. Yeah, and I don't have enough money for that shit. I don't care about you. I don't know.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have to date much.
So you met your wife in college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Don't you wish though you had a little bit more? You had a streak of.
Well, I mean, first week of school started talking to her. It's never really,
there was no.
It was one and done. So,
yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing.
I mean, if you bat 1,000, there's no need.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Hall of Fame career.
Right, you hit the game-winning home run, Game 7 of the World Series, you can retire. Yep, I win. Bat flip.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
Because I hate spending money on people for no reason, and I feel like dating, that's a big part of it.
Dude, dating is such a money suck. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I had a girlfriend earlier this year, and it was like, I don't know. I'm someone who like feels not like the pressure of having to spend money when you're dating someone, but like I want to be the kind of person who takes somebody out, like treats them well. So I don't know. Never had to deal with that shit. Center.
Never had to take anybody out.
Well, there was I never had to worry about that because I was gay.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this whole.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I kind of ran into a dead end. But yeah, so I'm trying to think of any other good high school stories. I mean, the thing I probably remember the best is sports. Like for whatever reason, that's the biggest portion. That or being bored in school. Like just like.
Oh, I hated school. Oh, okay. I say I hated school back then. I did, but I don't hate school near as much as I hate going to work.
That is true.
It's like in high school and school, you have to go there, but it's only for so long. You go to work, you could last the rest of your life.
I'm selling everything. Cleaning house. Marie Kondo in this bitch. Yeah, it's one of those things where like, you know, every new school year at Columbia, I'd have to ship shit back and forth. Or I'd have to lug it with me on the train. And then I moved to Kansas City. And then I lived in Wichita. And then I went to Prague. Then I came back here. I've had one move too many. One too many times of lugging the 6th tote of books up and down stairs to where I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. Possessions don't matter. Memories don't matter. Just give me 50 cents and you can have everything I own. I don't care anymore. I give up. Just give me a fucking piece of celery and a wheel and I'll be happy. I'll go to the club with that shit. Like, I can buy you a drink now. I sold everything I own. Only one? Yes, only one. What the fuck do you think I sold it for? You know, so I'm selling everything. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Manhattan's been all right. I've been it feels, I don't know. The freaking people my age in Manhattan kind of depress me. But you didn't go to Manhattan.
I never really.
Because they feel like townies. It kind of feels like Atchison, Kansas. I lived there for a summer while I was in college. And it's like, they're just a bunch of like people who haven't let go of college yet. Like they're still just hanging around. Like the biggest interest in their life is drinking.
Go to Aggieville, hanging out with 18, 21-year-olds.
Well, they go to Points. There's like the strip for older, I guess, gentlemen and gentlewomen. But it's definitely been like I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be that sad.
No, it's sad.
What?
So now you're saying they're all sad?
They're kind of sad. I talked to them in a bar. It's just like, what do you do? Like every time the conversation turns to drinking, they're all kind of unhappy. They all are in Manhattan because they're disappointed with the way their lives have gone, hoping for a spark. Just like, cool. You don't really have any big endeavors. I don't know. I feel pity. And
It's kind of funny. People like that hate where they are in life, but yet all they do is drink and don't change it.
Yeah, it's like if all you're doing is hanging out with college kids and drinking, like if that's the biggest thing in your life, you know. I don't know. I guess you can find a husband. You can find someone who'll work for you. If you're a woman, I guess you can do that. Damn, wouldn't it be nice to be a hot girl? Because you could just like. I mean, you can just skirt by. If you're good looking and you know how to lie. I don't know. If you just, there's a lot that goes with it. Be nice.
So you're saying that Jacob Yerock wants to be a hot girl?
I'm saying if I could have the benefits of being a hot girl, I would take them. I would take them straight away.
Started to sound like Katie was right.
That wouldn't make me gay. That would just make me a lesbian.
Well,
I mean, be hot. Lesbians are cool, man. I'm not even just like lesbians are hot, but lesbians I tend to like enjoy the company of.
What? Just
like anytime I hang out with a lesbian, I'm like, yeah, you're fun. Never met a lesbian where I've been like, man, that person sucked. I'm sure there are shitty lesbians out there, same as every orientation, but you know, I haven't met a bad lesbian yet. I've met some gay people I can't stand, but I haven't really met a bad lesbian. Like, what the hell is this?
I don't even know where you're going with this. You want to hang out with lesbians?
Breakfast is alcoholic lesbian friends. Please. How do I get on this track?
I don't
know. Oh, man. Yeah, so.
Did have a professor that lived in Japan at Tabor.
Oh, yeah? And, like, was from Japan, or?
She married a guy from Japan.
Yeah? Dude, I once went on a date with a member of the Columbia dance team, and she was Japanese. And, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's because everybody there was nerds, man, but there was a streak there where it's like, yeah, I'm not in your league. I'm not in your league. Like, your pawn must be really fucked up. But then she was like, I don't know. You ever, like, go on something and you're like, this is too good, so I'm just going to destroy it now before it crumbles of
You don't want to be
itself.
let down later, so you just end it now.
I just straight up torpedoed that. I was like, I was not very charming on the date. But, yeah,
So you ruined a good thing on purpose. Potential good thing.
Don't you find yourself doing that subconsciously all the time? As I find myself doing that, like, oh, this is a good thing. It must burn.
Like, this sounds good, but it'll never pan out, so I'm just not even going to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, well, I'm sure I don't know. Like, I'm sure this person is just using me, so I'm going to use them first. Ha! Yeah.
I kind of hate looking at Facebook.
Oh, I don't. I have everybody on mute, so when I open up Facebook, there's nothing there. But once in a while, I'll be like, I wonder what da-da-da is, da-da-da. And I used to only have like 190 friends, and then it was like, I noticed for every 10 friends I added, I got like 5 more views of my podcast. So it's just like...
So you're using us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not using you. I'm glad to have you on, but...
I'm saying like you're using your friends as...
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Facebook... I mean, it's advertising, right? It's not... I've kind of like realized that where it's I have to not be precious about it. Like I have to not. How do I put this? Because I was listening to a really good freaking commentary on the radio about something like this. It's like, shit. If I wish I could remember about like art. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, I gotta put in the work. If I want views, I can't be precious about it. I can't be like, I'm gonna only have my crowd and da 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 da. I'm not gonna advertise and people will come to me. Like nobody's gonna come to you. It's like if you got a pizza shop, you know, pizza delivery business, and you're expecting people to drive to your pizza shop, you are sadly mistaken. You gotta get the keys to that car and bring the pizza to them, you know. And it's not that your pizza's good or bad. I mean, if your pizza's good, people will come. But you still, in the end, you got to have a delivery vehicle if you're a pizza shop.
Even if it's bad, they might still come. I mean...
Right. I mean, pizza's pretty addictive. But anyway, no one needs your podcast.
Nobody really needs anything.
Right. What do we need out of life?
Lesbians?
Lesbian friends. Lesbian friends. More money. More money to pick up young girls on the dance floor. I don't know what else.
Apparently donuts.
Donuts. No, donuts are pretty fucking essential. I've been doing this whole intermittent fasting thing, so I've been trying to drop a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really weird running a breakfast podcast. But
when you don't eat breakfast.
It's like, yeah, I'll have some breakfast available, and I would love to eat it because it's my favorite meal, but not going to do anything with it.
So what kind of fasting you doing?
Oh, intermittent fasting. I was doing...
But there's a whole bunch of different kinds, though.
I was doing like 4 hours a day and not counting calories. And now I can eat 6 hours a day, but I am counting calories because I was plateauing. So,
yeah.
It was, I don't know. A friend of mine I saw this week made a good comment. It's like, Jacob, you're just like all my girlfriends. It was a girl. She was like, you're just like all my girlfriends. You think losing 15 pounds is going to fix all your problems. Let me tell you, sir, your problems are much deeper than that. And I said, you know what? You are correct. But I'm still going to try to lose 15 pounds in case it solves all my problems.
You feel better, though.
What?
You'll feel better. You still have the problems, but you'll feel better about it.
See, I don't even. It's like I'm like a healthy weight. Like, what's the point at this point? Because someone called me fat in Prague at the same weight about 2 years ago. I had a co-teacher I was teaching with my first year in Prague, and one of the kids called me fat. I was like skinnier than this, and instead of disagreeing the kid, she's like, "Yeah, kids speak the truth." And that has like stuck with me ever since. Where it's been like,
one kid in Prague called you fat, so now you're.
Well, one kid, and then this teacher, it's like I was thin, but she like agreed with the kid. And so ever since they've been like, okay, I'm fat. I'm fat. Maybe I'm fat by European standards. I don't know.
Well, probably Americans are normally fat.
What?
Americans are normally fat.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Body positivity is overrated. Hate yourself. Hate yourself, you'll go farther in life.
Expect less, you'll be happier.
You just set your standards way low. Like, hey, there was one really not attractive girl who danced with me for a little bit last night. If I had just said, you know what? I'm taking the W. You know?
A win's a win.
A win's a win. You know, I will say, I think that is something that gets underestimated in life, is you got to take some wins sometimes. Like, even if it's an easy win. Like, I found this pair of shoes in Manhattan this week, and it looked like the USPS, like, it either fell out of the car or, like, someone dropped it or forgot it.
She found shoes on the side of the road.
It was like when they were in, like, a shipping box, like, brand new, like the Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
So I spent 45 minutes trying to figure out where this person lived, put them by their front door, and that was a win. I don't give a fuck if they wanted their shoes or not, if they were trying to throw them away. I got those shoes back. No one will ever be able to take that away from me. That's what they told us about state. Like, winning state, no one could ever take that away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just compare giving somebody a pair of shoes to winning state.
We got 45 by B&B Baileyville, but goddamn it, I did get somebody back their shoes.
You gonna make yourself a ring that says "I brought shoes back" or "I deliver shoes"?
I'm gonna have a freaking party, shoe delivery. So yeah, we are senior and junior year. We were supposed to be a good football team. So there were like,
Well, I mean,
we
when
were a
we
good football
lost.
team. There was like all the 8-man teams though, and then these two teams from northern Kansas, B&B Baileyville, and what was the other one that we lost to junior year?
I can't remember, but I remember they're like 30 minutes apart from each other.
I mean, it was like they had to be roiding their
Hanover?
kids. Don't you think they're roiding their kids?
I don't know, but I remember the team was mostly two families, and the two families were related somehow.
'Cause I remember playing. I blocked one guy who was I think was playing football for K-State, but like, I've never been so, I don't even want to say emasculated, not even embarrassed, but just like so dumbfounded in athletic competition. It's like I
Yeah.
could not figure out how to block this human across from me. I remember that B&B game. It was just like, I'm doing everything I can. He's just like 6 inches taller and like 50 pounds heavier and faster than me. So how was football, Tabor? How was that? Did it fulfill your hopes and dreams?
I mean, going into it, I really know what I expected from it, but
What did you get out of it, do you feel? I mean, you and Rustin, were you and Rustin? I'm trying to think. Delk was there playing football, right?
Doe, Gardner, Biebermeyer.
Yeah. So probably the camaraderie was good.
Well, when you meet a girl the first week of school, you kind of don't hang out with other people. So
Oh, yeah, that
it seems like
down.
every time I started hanging out with people, they transferred to left.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a lot of that, Tabor's like, try to impress and then transfer to a JUCO to try to get into a D1.
Well, most people that left, they just quit playing. They just
Oh.
hated Tabor.
Yeah.
So you get people from bigger cities other states come in, like Hillsborough, frickin' Kansas, it's like there's nothing to do
What
here.
did they think it was gonna be though? That's what I don't
I
understand.
don't know. If they had a,
Like, if you go visit Hillsboro's pretty obviously what it is.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what, the reservoir might be the thing to do there.
Do you feel like they get bored? Like they want that college experience and they don't get it?
Yeah, because they always go to clubs in Wichita and stuff like that.
See, but I thought Tabor was like for the Mennonites. Like,
It's, what is it, decidedly Christian, I guess?
yeah.
It's a big Mennonite school.
I could see going to Bethel or going to McPherson because you're not that far from Wichita. But if you're partying in Wichita, I don't know how you go to Tabor. It's like, that's a freaking drive.
Oh, it's surprising more people don't get pulled over coming home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people just do it all the time. I'm like, oh, you're fucking stupid.
Well, DUI will mess you up, too.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Well, they get blitzed and then drive all the way back from
Oh, yeah.
Wichita?
I mean, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I know of people that done it.
Right. I mean, if you don't freaking sway over the road, you keep at the speed limit and you don't be loud, you can, I mean,
I'd be so nervous, though. Driving on the interstate, coming back. Which,
I feel like I get less nervous driving the interstate than I do some back roads. Because, like, I remember I've only been, the only time I've ever been stopped after I've been out drinking
yeah.
were, like, off the beaten path. I've never
Really?
been. Oh yeah, I've never been stopped on the interstate or like major highways. It's always been like off the beaten path, like some local road, like a paved road. Like the cops sitting there waiting to pull somebody over. And I've only ever been pulled when I didn't have a license plate or whatever that was from the area. So I think that plays a large part of it. I'm sure the cops are busy enough that like you can get away with it. Especially your I'm sure they're like patrolling the city. They're not like watching K-15.
Yeah.
Kids, if you want to go get drunk and drive.
Well, I'm not saying you should drink and drive.
Right, but if you're gonna do it, try going to Tabor College and K-15. The route. that's the moral of this story.
The thing is, though.
Don't drink and drive. It's bad.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can drink a little bit. You can drink more than they say you can. This is one thing I've learned as an adult. One beer is not the limit, okay? You can drink several beers and still be a reasonably safe driver, okay? Damn, what happened to me after high school, Benji?
You were always like, I want to say good kid, but
I
like,
was always a good kid. Never done shit like that.
outstanding citizen.
Right. Trying to be a good Christian Catholic. Now it's like everybody in our class has turned good Christians, and I've just been like, yeah, there's no Jesus.
That one did surprise me, how you flipped a switch on that.
Yeah, I mean, it really
It's probably not an overnight deal, though.
No, that was a kind of a long-term thing I wrestled with a lot. But it's like everyone who talks to me about it just assumes I did it flippantly.
No, you don't just do that overnight.
No, I mean, not with as gung-ho as I was about it.
Oh, shit, you would
Yeah.
go to church, ride the bus to the church for an hour or two before even started, wouldn't you?
What?
I thought one time during Lent, you rode the bus or went to church. You had to be there like an hour or two before it started to be able to get there or something.
That's probably true.
I don't remember who it was, but they were shaming us because we weren't as good Catholic as you were.
Oh, well, I was over the legal limit for Catholicism.
The legal limit for
Don't be Catholic. Don't be Catholic in high. Don't drink and drive. Don't be Catholic in high school. They're equally bad and equally injurious for your health. No, I actually wasn't that bad in high school. Now in junior high,
maybe
in 5th and 6th grade, I was way overdoing it. But I think I had the natural desire to like do the thing I was supposed to do. Like I was a kid that really loved being praised for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then also, I just saw a lot of people that I was growing up with or that were in my community who had like, how do I put it? They didn't really have anything like driving them. And so I was like kind of striving for excellence, if that makes sense. And like, I was just trying to be the most excellent person I could be. So I didn't end up a failure. And so it was like, that was the way it found expression, If that makes sense. It's like, what's the best possible thing I can do and best possible thing I can be? And then my social life, I mean, hell, I was nobody at center, but I was like a deal with the Wichitans, so it became my social life, and
shit, yeah.
All kind of snowballs into each other. You feel like you found your faith, though, at Tabor?
I don't know.
A little bit more than maybe before.
I mean, there was a good spurt in high school where I was high school or junior high. I can't remember when. Where I'd be like praying every day and excited to go to church, and then it just kind of phased out. And
well, the problem with church is you make these commitments. It's like you can only do something you don't enjoy for so long.
Yeah.
Like if what you're doing, if you have some commitment and like you don't find a way to make yourself enjoy it, you're going to give up eventually. If I didn't like this podcast, I'd quit doing it eventually. Like no matter there's no amount of willpower that overcomes one's distaste for something.
Unless you started making a crap ton of money.
I think then maybe you're not hating it because you're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there are people who do things for crap tons of money and don't love them either. But,
oh yeah, like they hate their lives, but they make good money, so they do it, and then they're miserable. And what's the point of the money?
I mean, I will say money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure helps.
What the hell's... I seen a quote. Some guy said, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a yacht.
Can buy you a whore. Can buy you a fast car. There's a lot of, prostitution is pretty much legal in Prague.
What?
Yeah, but it's like, it's about $75 to $100 a night. And it's just kind of outside the pay range of like there's the fear of getting an STD, and then there's also like it's just a little too much for as much money as I make. But I knew if I made like a little bit more a month, it'd be like, instead of having to go to this club, I can just pay somebody to have sex with me, and it's so much simpler. What the hell?
I mean, $75. Does that come with a hotel room?
No, they have like brothels.
I'm saying that's
they have
like
brothels. It's like sublegal. It's technically illegal, but they don't prosecute it, if that makes sense. Now, I it being Central Europe, wouldn't be surprised if there were security cameras set up, and if I ever tried to run for governor or something, they'd be like, "Sir, we have footage of you having sex with a whore. Yes, elect me governor of Kansas." I don't doubt that shit like that happens over there. Because there's like, how do I put it? It's weird when you get to that part of Europe, like Central and then Eastern Europe, because like here the rule of law is very much the rule of law.
Yeah.
Over there, you still have the sense that like there are laws on the books, but when and where they get enforced is kind of subject to interpretation.
You kind of have to know the areas before, because it doesn't matter the laws, certain areas won't.
Yeah, well, it's just like, some people, I love my visa agency. My visa agency never seems to have a problem with me getting my visa on time or getting it approved.
Yeah.
Other people with other cheaper visa agencies, their visas don't necessarily always get approved. Now, is that because maybe it's an inferior product and they don't know how to fill out the forms? Possibly. Or there's just a real benefit in those kind of countries to knowing the right people and being like, hey, this dude needs a visa. Okay, there's still kind of that whole thing going on. There's still kind of that mentality. It's not quite communist. Like, it very much wants to be a modern, like, Czech Republic very much wants to be a modern country, but there's still kind of that old Soviet, like, it's fungible. So
what made you decide the Czech Republic?
Well, I'm Czech.
You just decided, hey, I'm going to go to the homeland?
Well, I had to do something. It's like I was done. I had paid off my student loans in Kansas City. And then it's like I have to do something. And I kind of made a list of, like, bucket list items. And then, like, I'm going to cross one of these off with the next thing I do. And that was one of them. There were others, like, through hike the AT, the Appalachian Trail, or like go get work in the Merchant Marine, like go work on a boat for a while. And it was just like the Czech Republic is one that like seemed more sustainable. Better to do it young, because if I wanted to get citizenship, like I could start on that path. So it was just, I mean, I was young too. Like I had romantic notions of Europe. There's a girl too I was head over heels for in high school and college, and then she was getting married and was like, I want to get out of the country. That was also part of it. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very real part of it.
Yeah.
Where it was like, it would be nice to get away. So it was all that.
It's kind of a free spirit.
I don't know. I'm tired of being a free spirit. I should have gone and been a businessman. I think the moral of this podcast is Charles's grandma was right.
Should have been a businessman.
Should have been a businessman. She was right to shake her head. But I guess I've like, I don't know. I love being free. I love freedom, but I don't know. Over there, it hasn't been as free as I was hoping, because I do get to travel, and when I do get to travel, I love it. But it's like, I don't say, like, I work and I don't like you. My salary over there is like $1,500 a month here, which is which is pretty good money for there.
Yeah.
But like after bills and everything, I have just enough left over to pay for travel over the winter holidays and over the summer.
And a couple brothels.
I don't have brothel. Like I said, I don't have brothel money. I'm just kind of outside the brothel money, where it's like, man, I would pay $100 for sex, but I'll go pay $10 for food, and like save the other $90. And probably would have been better spent on the brothel. I remember, yeah. Dude, my freaking voice, I'm dying. I was screaming. Sometimes I gain female interest at a place, and then there's a song that comes on that I like, and I always just start screaming. I never know when to just take my win. I just always gotta be like, okay, now's the time to start acting out of pocket. Now is the time to because when you go alone, because I always go out alone because I don't have friends. I move around too much to have a stable group to go out with. And so it's always just like, you're always suspect at that point, but maybe you can overcome it. But not when you start shouting the lyrics of freaking Mo Bamba, okay? When you just start with your whole chest shouting, I got so many fucking O's, call it! People are just like, who the fuck is this guy? He's going to murder me.
I mean, I feel
and I
like
probably would.
when you met somebody 10 minutes ago, now's not the time to release your inner self.
No, that is great dating advice. Be yourself. Don't be yourself too early.
Wait a couple weeks.
Yes.
And not all at once. You got to slowly.
Right. Because being with someone is like, first, making sure they're not going to kill you. Second, liking who they are. But if you don't get past one, you're not going to get to number two.
I feel like they won't kill you.
You got to be really confident that you're not in danger of death. Doesn't mean you're a good judge of it, but you want to at least be convinced of it. Am I wrong?
I mean, not feeling like you're going to get killed is a good bonus.
Sometimes I do want to feel a little danger, though. I want to feel a little bit
like you're saying you want to get lost in the mountains again?
No, I don't want to do that again. But, it does kind of feel like that's the only shit I could do for attention. It's like, man, what do I got to do to freaking have people excited to see me? Do I have to go back to Europe for 20 years? Do I have to cut off my leg? Do I have to lose it in an Alaskan skiing operation? Like, what do I have to do? Is that going to give me... But I don't know how you tell a girl at the club you lost your leg in an Alaskan skiing operation.
Dude, I mean, she doesn't know you. The stories are endless there. You can make up anything.
Oh, you say you got to chop off... I guess you can just chop off your leg. Like, maybe that's the move. If I get to my mid-30s and I'm having no luck still, I'm just going to start chopping off body limbs. I lost this one in Vietnam. You're sure? No, I wasn't in the war. Well, I was in the post-war war. Khmer Rouge, motherfucker. Just start shit like that. No, dude. So how do you feel about America these days?
Which part of it?
All of it. How do you feel? I mean, are you optimistic about America?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are that way.
I feel like the more we just keep handing out money, the more and more it's going to just ruin the country.
Yeah. I know you used to be big about the whole they're going to take our guns thing. Remember that used to really concern you.
Well, yeah, when I was younger and everybody always talks about it, it's like, well, maybe they are. It's like, there's no way that they could. There's no...
I went to Columbia. I went to about liberal colleges you can go, and I met one person who wanted to, like, pretty much ban firearms.
Yeah.
I met one person who was like that. Everybody else was like, no, we wouldn't do that. But, like, one person, and I remember she brought it up in her class, like, how can you justify having a firearm? It's like, girl, come out to the country, and, like, we'll shoot some ducks.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
like...
Or, like, come out to the country and then go to sleep at night. Like, you know, it's nice having someone comes in your house trying to fuck with you. It's nice having a gun around.
I mean, I've always wanted, if somebody breaks into my house and I have the chance to do it, shoot them with a crossbow.
Oh, yeah?
What bigger, I mean, like
flex?
I guess flex, because, like, if I go into somebody's house that I get shot with a crossbow, that's going to scare the shit out of me. Like, I'm going to be like, this guy is fucking crazy.
This guy has a crossbow at the ready.
He's
He's not fucking around.
I mean, gun's one thing, but a crossbow, I mean...
She's just gonna have a loaded crossbow by your bed. Now this one's for the thieves. It's like freaking gold plated. You won't use it for anything else. Man, yeah, gotta have that thieving crossbow. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I'd like to think, though, I wouldn't kill somebody just because I've met people who are, like, definitely insecure in their masculinity. Yeah. Who are like, I'll shoot anybody if they ever come on my property. That's like, I don't want to kill somebody.
Could you, though? I mean, not asking you if you could, but, like, if somebody just openly says they're going to kill somebody, it's like it's nothing. It's like, I don't know if you really could in the moment.
I think people get worked up to it. You know, I think, like, the guy that shot, was it Trayvon Martin? The guy in Florida, George Zimmerman?
I don't know. There's so many people that get shot nowadays that you hear about.
Yeah. Well, that was a while ago, but he shot some dude. Some white guy shot a black dude who was just, like, on the street. He felt threatened by him. He's like, oh, he's black.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think there are people out there who, like, I don't know. Like, could you do it? I think you could.
Oh, the right situation, yeah, but I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life that I killed somebody, though.
You don't feel like you'd be a little bit badass? Like, maybe you could use that one as a pickup line. Like, after this just like, oh, this leg, I chopped it off, but I also killed somebody a few years ago.
Use it as a pickup line. I mean, what'd I do? Hey, wife, remember that time I killed that guy? Broke into our house? I was a badass.
What, are you going to drag it behind you like a dog dragging behind a squirrel? I just wanted to show my wife. She hasn't been very in love with me lately. I thought maybe it'd make her think I was more of a man. If I killed someone for her. But, you know, I think of all the stupid shit guys do, here's what it is. Of all the stupid, like, shit like that. Like, you and I, in our natural states, aren't interested in killing people.
No.
I don't care if people think I could kill somebody. But then, like, female approval of men, like, rest on what portrayal of manhood we put out. So all of a sudden, like, we feel the need to, like, be able to kill. You know what I mean? Like, I feel a large part of it is, like, what do I have to do to get, like, female approval of my masculinity? And so I think a lot of those guys are like, yeah, I'd kill anybody. They're just, like, trying to be bigger, you know, just trying to show off.
Trying to make themselves sound, I guess, cooler or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, it reminds me of a kind of thing.
What?
That shit kind of reminds me of that poor guy. He wasn't that bad of a guy, but it's just like, I'm lonely, so let me very desperately try to be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man, poor.
I mean, I knew I wasn't popular, but I never, like...
But you were. You were funny. Everyone liked you.
Did they, though?
Yeah, they did.
I never really felt like that.
Well, you were funny, dude. Everybody likes a funny guy.
I mean, I was funny, but I was also stupid at the same time. Like, I'd say some stupid shit.
No, I think everybody liked you. Everybody liked you. Now, you weren't like a Tanner. There's popular.
There's popular levels of.
Well, I think there's like one type of popular where everybody like enjoys your company, and I think there's a kind of popular where like you're the person everyone wants to fuck, and then like most people when you want to be popular, it's for option 2. Because I remember speaking of other things that made the girls at our class reunion salivate. Like as soon as they started talking about Tanner, like I wouldn't have dated him. I wouldn't have dated him. Like, okay, you're really denying this with a lot of gusto. Like, sure you wouldn't have. God forbid you should have had the opportunity. I mean, he rapes steers now for a living. Who wouldn't want to?
Did you say rape?
He
steers?
rapes them. Surprise! He jumps off a horse and surprises them. What else is it? You're mine now, bitch!
I mean, I never would have referenced it to rape, but I guess.
I mean, you ride a fast. I mean, what's the difference between what he's doing and what people do on the street? It's you come up really fast behind something, you jump on top of it, and you wrestle it to the ground.
I mean, I don't spend many times on the streets, but I've never seen somebody just wrestle somebody to the ground out of nowhere. Just you walk past an alley, the guy runs out and tackles you.
He just no, I'm just doing person wrestling. I'm not going to do anything to you. I don't want your money. Put your money back.
That was 7.5 seconds.
Put your balls back in your pants. Okay, no, I just wanted to wrestle you. He's times himself. That'd be a fun. Now, did you ever go to March for Life?
No.
Because we did one year. Maybe it was when TK went with me. Because we did something called ghosting. And what you do is you go to a public place, and then you get like, and this is before like ghosting meant not talking to someone.
Yeah.
And you have to be within a foot of someone, and you mimic their movements, and you just walk behind them until they notice and turn back, and like you would time yourself to see how long you can do it for. We got kicked out of I think a place once because they were just like, you're harassing people.
I feel like that's something you can't do in this country today. I feel like if you did that to somebody now, they might just turn around and punch you. Or shoot you.
Make it into a TikTok. Yeah.
TikTok challenge.
How many people TikToked me last night? I'm just like, oh yeah. Like, oh my God, like so many people are just like, this guy's behavior must put it on TikTok. Like, when the fuck did this be a thing? I'm over this TikTok shit. I saw somebody posting a video of them going to my cousin's wedding yesterday as a TikTok on Facebook. Like, what are you just like TikToking like you driving now? I don't know. How do you feel about TikTok? That to me, fuck the money thing. I'll take free money, but President Biden needs to get rid of TikTok.
Why? Because China's tracking us with it?
Oh, China's been tracking us with everything, man.
I don't know. I mean, I waste a lot of my time on TikTok, so...
See, I don't have a smartphone, so I can't...
You don't even have a smartphone.
What?
You don't have a smartphone?
No, I have this computer.
You don't even have a phone?
I have 2 phones. That's not suspicious. Whenever I'm at a freaking coffee shop and I pull out 2 phones, I'm always just like in my head, okay, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer.
Text the wrong person on your drug dealer phone and...
It's like... We've already gotten to an hour.
Really?
Damn, that went by fast. You want to keep chatting or...
I don't care.
We'll keep chatting because I feel a lot of this is not... I'm going to have to cut a lot of this. A lot of this is just straight nonsense. I don't know. Is there anything you like wanted to talk about or wanted to bring up? Story you wanted to tell?
I mean, not really, because when you first asked me to do this, I was kind of nervous. Like, what the fuck are we going to talk about for an hour?
Yeah.
But then you said, whatever. So I'm like,
Well, that's the nice thing about editing. And I found, like, every time, even usually my best ones even come with this feeling where I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that was.
Yeah.
But, I feel like, whereas when I come in with a definite game plan of, like, what I would like to at least talk about or bring up, it's like, those end up kind of being boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. People kind of like the strange, random... Because I feel like that's the one thing maybe this podcast... Have you listened to any of the podcasts?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like if one thing people like at all about some of the episodes is that there tend to be like random off-tangent discussions about random shit. Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other good stories from high school. I had to kick you out of my van from going to religion with us because you wouldn't stop cursing in front of my brother. Remember that? I was taking you to religion for a while. That was a whole thing.
No, I don't remember,
You don't remember that?
No.
It was when we would go to. We were carpooling to religion, and then remember we had a tumble about. That was the last time. Oh man, you don't remember that?
No.
You know, it's amazing that I bring up shit I feel bad about to people because I've been gone for 10 years. So the thing that sticks in my memory is man, I feel bad about this, so I'll bring it up, and then they won't remember, and then I'll describe it in enough detail where they do remember, and then they start getting angry again. Yeah, I do remember that. I know. I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have brought it up.
Could have just let it go.
I feel I'm surprised at how other people let shit go because I guess I don't let shit go very well.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that I don't remember.
No, dude, I got fucking vengeance. I'm still competitive in my head with people from high school.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When I talk about my Tanner won nationals, well, fucking national redneck fuckery. Just wait till I become a published writer and bury his head in the sand. That's how that shit drive. I'm like Michael Jordan. You ever see Michael Jordan's his news conference when he got to the Hall of Fame?
No.
He was bringing up fucking news articles from and random papers 15 years before. And he was singling out the reporters in the crowd you wrote a bad article about me in 1978. I swear that's what goes on the fuck in my head.
So you don't care that people are successful, just that you don't know them.
What do you mean?
You see successful people all the time, you don't be like, oh, fuck them. But if the people from your hometown are successful, you're like, I gotta do better than that.
It's all about it's all about competition, man. It's savage. It's terrible. It's a fucking terrible fucking impulse to have, but I sure have it. I gotta be the best.
I think everybody thinks that way a little bit, but I don't know if they go to the extreme that you are in your head about it.
Well, I'm not literally thinking that. I'm not literally. I'm exaggerating a bit, but yeah, I don't really. I remember all the shit I feel bad about, and then I just am still competitive with people that could give a fuck less, and I haven't seen. I'm competitive people, and one of the things that drives me when I feel like giving up. I think of people back from college, and they're working for fucking Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is a pussy.
Okay, doesn't that piss you off?
What? The banks?
Well, no.
Talking about the banks?
Okay, maybe the
What
bank.
part of that statement?
You go to college. There's people in school that kind of, and you see the way they are in the class and how they act, and then now you see what job they have, and how the fuck did they get a job like that being the way they were then?
Because they're maniacal. Everybody I know that has a really nice, cushy job was always. Especially with Columbia, we're always very plotting. It was never about learning for them. Learning was always a means to an end. Yeah. It's a tool to get, in the words of Bob Dylan, knowledge waits on $1,000 plates or something. It was always a tool. And so I'm not surprised at any of them, but I guess define success. Will they ever have an original idea or do something that makes them worth remembering? No.
They're just a pawn in the...
They're just trying to get theirs,
Yeah.
They're just grifters who don't want to go to jail. That's what it is. People who I feel when you meet people like that, they do what they have to do to get ahead, and it's not about the absolute value of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I can't resent people's success. I hesitate to call it success, but I can't resent people's good fortune. But what do I resent? What do I hate? I hate paying for drinks at bars. I don't know what bothers me. But yeah, you feel like we're giving out too much money. We are giving out a lot of money.
Shit, what? Starting July, I'm supposed to be getting money just for having kids now.
Oh yeah, they're doing that now.
Yeah, just...
That's pretty cool. They want to keep that in. They want to keep that permanent too. I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between, well, fuck it. If they're going to give me money, sure, I'll take it. But why? Don't need it, but I'm not going to turn it down.
Right. It's one of those things where it's like, man. Yeah, no, I'm with you on there. It's like, no, I really did need it. I mean, every stimulus bill that has passed, I've needed the money.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm in a weird situation where it's like, COVID's kind of kept me from like having my primary residence, living there. It's, I freaking worked. Oh, dude, fuck that mill. Fuck working in a mill. Dude, I mean, look, nothing will fucking give you a fire under your belly like sweeping up rat mile shit every day. And like, and breathing in grain dust. Nothing. Oh, man. Oh, dude. I mean, everybody ought to work a summer job like that once. Just like, you don't have to be on, like, you get to work in the office mostly, right? And drive and...
Mostly, yeah, in the office or driving.
Yeah, I'm not fucking... I don't know. Manual labor is noble. Like, I respect people who work manual labor, but, like, goddamn, that shit sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Goddamn, that shit sucks.
Like, it's not bad to do it every once in a while, but if you have to do it 40 hours a week, every day for years, it wears on you.
Fuck, if you're just like a construction pawn, I mean...
That's why they make good money, because you wouldn't do it making minimum wage.
Well, I mean, make good money, but, like, I didn't make hardly enough.
Well, I mean, like construction workers.
Right. Yeah, it's... Oh, dude, like welders, being in a freaking hot metal shed at 100 degrees in the middle of summer.
Winter would be easy to be a welder, I would think.
Winter would be all right, yeah. It's just... I don't know, man. I don't know how those people don't... I was telling somebody yesterday, I don't know how those people... I understand how those people get depressed, turn alcoholics, beat their wives, and then kill themselves.
Beat their wives and kill.
I understand it. Like, I think that if that's what you're doing, that's the only rational life course. The fact that most of this country is not beating their wives or killing themselves after coming home from their 40-hour-a-week manual labor job is a miracle. It is one proof that Jesus is real. Because, I mean, you got fucking kids... Your wife's probably sleeping around on you. She probably gets big. She was probably skinny when you met her, then just gave up. Like, shit, man, there's a lot of reasons to kill yourself if that's the kind of job you work. You never get fucking ahead. Like, your Dogecoin plummets. You buy Doge and it becomes worthless.
I don't even want to look at Doge today.
You own some Doge? You were talking about you sold your Doge too early.
Well, yeah, because it was a joke.
Right. You buy some more now?
Yeah. It was after SNL, so I mean...
Well, you're still at a loss, though, right now.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting some ether.
I've got some ether.
Yeah, ether might come back.
I'm down 13% in ether right now.
You're up 13%.
Down.
Down. Today?
No, just total.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's a big fucking drop.
Well, I'm down 30% in fucking Doge.
Oh, how much you put in Doge, though?
Not much.
Okay, I was going to say...
Not much.
Okay, it's gambling. Yeah.
Cryptos seem like they're gambling.
They're gambling right now. Like, it's like, eventually it might be worth something. Like, actually worth something hard, but right now it's gambling.
Apparently AMC's going to the moon now.
Dude, AMC freaking shot up. I missed out on that.
I bought some of that.
The less money I have, the more I become obsessed with, like, people who make money very quickly.
Really?
Yeah, the more I care about AMC going to the moon, is like, that's all I have to do. If I just put all my life savings in AMC, I'll have enough to live on.
Oh, yeah, if you would have put $1,000 in AMC, you'd have what? I think 3,000 now?
Tripled. I mean, it's one of those things where...
Stuff like that is gambling, because there's no reason why AMC should be that high.
No, it's gambling.
We're seeing GameStop's back up. Holy shit again.
GameStop's above 200 again.
There's no reason for it.
No. What does the little man have to do to get a break? I work hard on my podcast. My podcast isn't going to the moon.
You gotta short it.
Gotta short
your podcast.
I gotta build up short interest in the podcast. How the fuck would that work? No, what I need you to do, I need you to borrow against my podcast. That way we get lots of listeners. I mean, we have a good listener. It's weird that, like, I kind of keep this thing around because it's, like, the one thing I do that might actually start making me a little bit of money.
Yeah.
In a few months, in a year. So.
At least you got something.
What?
At least you got something on a side hustle type deal.
You got a wife? What do you mean? Like,
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I got a wife and 1.5 kids right now, but, like,
you don't feel like you got a side hustle?
no. Like, I'm not going to say I'm trapped, but I can't just quit my job today and be like, I'm going to go start a podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying I would, but I'm...
Yeah, I do love freedom, and, like, freedom is intoxicating, but there's kind of, like... There's, like, freedom when I was walking, or freedom when, like, I'm traveling in Europe.
Yeah.
And, like, that's really nice, but then there's also, like, the flip side of it where I'm sweeping up mouse shit, or I'm, like, teaching a bunch of, like, unwilling to be taught youths somewhere in Prague and, like, living in a small box. And it's, like, I did those things. I like the random, like, I'm gonna do this, and, like, but there is a cost to pay. And I think the older you get, like, I really put a higher price on friends and family now, because it's just like, when you travel as much as I do, it's like you only ever go out. I mean, like last night, you only ever go out alone, and that gets old. The older you get, you're like, I'm a like 28-year-old, like, at this bar by myself. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Get a respectable wife. Convert to Islam. Freaking get your shit together.
Convert to Islam. Get a wife.
Get a hijab wearing wife.
Have a pool of lesbian friends. Sounds like you're...
Pool of lesbian friends. Cut off my leg. Convert to Islam.
Go into business.
Go into business. There's a whole bunch of things I've done wrong.
Hey, I mean, you ever listen to Gary Vaynerchuk?
No, who's that?
He has his own company and stuff, but he's more of like a, I guess, say motivational speaker, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
He's an investor too, because he's trying to buy the Jets. That's his big deal. He wants to buy the Jets.
Oh, okay.
The NFL team.
Thinking airplanes.
No.
I'm like, what? All of them?
No, yeah, all of them. He's going to be the only one to fly.
He just wants to buy jets, like the concept. He just wants all the jets. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to buy the Jets and he invests money. You good?
I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard. It's just like, what a dumb thing to think. Like, when someone says the Jets, like...
You should think of a plane first, because nobody cares about the Jets. The Jets suck.
No, they are an afterthought.
But his one friend, I can't remember if it was Uber or what, some company, he had the chance to invest in and be an angel investor, and he turned the guy down twice.
Yeah.
Could have made millions of dollars off of it. He's like, well, who cares? Could have made all that money, could have been in China on a business trip and got hit by a bus and died. So, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
What ifs aren't really valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what could have been. You could have been dead choosing that path, so just live the path.
Right. Well, and, I had a friend in college. He kind of had a similar thing. He's like, this is, you have the road you've chosen, so walk the road you've chose.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not meaning to sound like a sad sack on this, but I guess it's kind of like I get a lot of the whole like, but you live in blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, but it's like it's kind of a miserable existence. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I know it seems fun and cool from the outside, but it's like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I mean, but everything's a lot of work. So is living and working for the co-op. I don't know. I'm not really trying to make a point. I'm just like running on 3 hours of sleep. I'm unsexed and running on 3 hours of sleep. So
3 hours of sleep. Got turned down at the club.
look, if I had just been able to fuck that 38-year-old, everything would have been great. If you could like have sex with, say, Emma Stone, but she had AIDS, and you knew you were gonna get HIV.
I'll be honest with you. If I seen her, I would know her, but I can't picture her right now.
What's an actress that was like? Who would you be willing to get HIV for.
Who would I be willing to die to have sex with?
Not die. They have good treatments now for it. It's not a death sentence. No, like if you get it early, if you get HIV, the earlier you get it, the better off you are. Now you got to take these pills that fuck your immune system, but they're finding out with like people who do drugs like for HIV and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if HIV. I know there are definitely diseases where you have to like take drugs to weaken your immune system, and so now with like COVID and the vaccine, they'll get the vaccine, but they won't have any immune response to the vaccine. Because it's just like the drugs they're taking ruin it. So just like any disease that comes along, they're at its mercy. Like that would suck.
Right, because I'd be dead since I had COVID.
Well, not necessarily, but yeah, I don't know how that works. Like every time you get a cold, like you just
Yeah, I mean, you live in a bubble because
I just start going around the bubble. I'm trying to think of someone I'd be willing to get AIDS for. I guess you're married. You can't talk like this.
I mean,
who would you be willing to get AIDS for, other than your wife?
I don't know, because, like, I don't feel like I'm a typical guy.
Yeah.
When I say the fact that meaningless sex never intrigued me.
No, that's fine.
Well, I mean, like, one-night stands and stuff like that, it's just, like, I never really wanted that life.
Yeah, I've wanted that life, but I've been unable to attain it. It was falling in my lap the last 2 years of high school and the first year of college, at which point I said, no, Jesus Christ. And then as soon as I threw away Jesus Christ, the devil said, okay, no more need for your temptation, sir. Yeah. I mean, it does get, yeah. What?
Don't have to tempt you no more because I've already got you.
I got you, bitch. Anyway, if you take anything away from this, what are the lessons from this podcast? Go into business. Don't rape people. If you really want to get laid, cut off your leg.
Should have bought Doge a year ago.
Should have bought Doge a year ago. If you didn't buy Doge, don't beat yourself up for it.
A lot of life lessons here. Who would have thought that?
Look at what an instructive podcast we put together for the youth.
I feel like we've gone nowhere, but yet so far at the same time.
I know we've covered a lot of ground, but I'm not sure we've really done any tilling.
I didn't know what to expect coming in here, but it's definitely not how I expected it to go. But
yeah, dude, but hey, that's probably. Oh, that was a blast. All right, I'm gonna cut it there.